The silent whispers of the frozen air, it's dragging me deeper into despair. Someone set me free. Get me out of this treasure here. All the time, all around. Not a light, and not a sound. I close my eyes, I'm crying out. The never ending, it's the never ending winter. This motherfucking frozen landscape I struggle to ignore. It's wet on my chest, I won't ever let go. Welcome to my world, yeah. This is my broken world. The silent whispers of the frozen air, it's dragging me deeper into despair. Someone set me free. Get me out of this tragedy.
Well, here we are. Hershey, Pennsylvania is a raucous crowd tonight. But we ourselves are going to be raucous right here as we get ready for some NXT Halloween Havoc. It's Chris Best alongside OMD. OMD, my brother, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I've had a very, very relaxing day.
Oh, I wish I could say the same.
I spent my day sitting on my couch watching football.
Mm-hmm.
And I really haven't done anything. I haven't needed to. I got all of my necessary chores done late last night so that I could just relax today.
Yeah, see, for me, that was not the case at all because obviously I had to get everything ready for the PLE Patrol. That's editing the intro you just saw, the overlay, which, by the way, I'm going to pat myself on the back for this one because I friggin' love it. May have to keep it for next year's Halloween Havoc.
Right.
But no, it was just today for me, the intro was really what ticked me off. There was just some things in that intro that when I was putting it together, it didn't agree with my my editing software. So I had to go back and re-get all the shots that I wanted.
Oh, geez.
And on top of that, my Bengals not winning.
Yeah, I had my Dolphins blow their game, but you know,
and the thing is, the Bengals game, that's a game the Bengals should have won. Who'd your Dolphins play again today, by the way?
The Cardinals.
Yeah, they probably should have won that one too, actually.
Well, we had Tua back.
Did he get hurt again?
He did not.
Oh.
In fact, he even had a 20-yard run on a 3rd and 10 conversion, and he slid. No, it was just little things. We had 2 drives where we settled for field goals where we should have had a touchdown. We had essentially a snap go out of the end zone, giving Arizona a safety, which I sort of right there, I was like, there's the game. And I had almost forgotten about Halloween Havoc tonight until you messaged me this afternoon. So
I'm using these next 3 hours as my way to decompress for my day. Because honestly, like again, the PLE Patrol love doing this kind of stuff. And I had it set up. Sorry, I'm just distracted by what I'm seeing on my screen right now. Oh, okay. I see what match we're getting first.
Yes, I'm very intrigued. I wasn't sure if they were going to start off with this, but I liked the way they did Oba's intro video for this tonight.
Yeah, that's what distracted me because I'm like, I've never seen that intro before from Oba. I was also distracted by the ambulance car because I was thinking, ooh, Ghostbusters.
Right.
And I'm like, I hope they use that as the ambulance for the ambulance match later tonight.
Right.
But no, the thing is with all the editing, like I thought I had everything in the can as far as my editing goes, which you should really never say that when you're editing. So like
Right.
I thought I'd be able to get my edits done and then actually do the chores I wanted to do today,
Right.
which was finish cleaning my living room.
Right.
So no, I didn't get to finish cleaning my living room. Because as everyone out there knows, I'm in the middle of retooling my
Yes.
entire apartment.
So I'm finding this interesting for this tables, ladders, and scares match that it is pinfall or submission and not by retrieving the title.
That's
From
what
above
Tony
the ring.
that's what Tony D'Angelo on Tuesday said he wanted that step to be added. My
Interesting.
guess on that one is because look how tall Oba Femi is.
Right.
That would make it just so much easier for him to, be able to climb a ladder like 2-3 rungs and grab a title.
Now, I know we have not heard a lot and we have not even speculated on any potential surprises tonight
See,
or debuts, but do we see something in any of the matches tonight?
that's what I've been wondering because like I've been wondering that myself but I can't think of like any signings that are exciting to me at this moment that WWE may have coming up other than Hikuleo, maybe.
Yes, and that's actually the name I was leaning towards, potentially for this evening, and I think that this would be the match to do that.
Yeah, I was thinking that because like I like how our ring announcer's dressed up like Beetlejuice, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that because I was trying to figure out I've been trying to think of ways because I've been saying that if I were to bring Hikuleo in, I don't think I would put him in with the bloodline stuff because there's enough going on there as it is.
Right. And I mean, I know I've read reports and we haven't heard anything in like a month on this, but I had heard reports quite a while ago that it was going to be Hikuleo coming to NXT. So,
I like the way this match started.
yep.
Tony's like, screw the intros, let's just get right to the match. And there's, of course, in tables, ladders, scares, there's no disqualification, no count out, just pinfall submission.
That's right. I am going to ask because we did see the debut of, and I'm not sure how we're pronouncing her name, Zaria on Tuesday.
Right. I didn't even think about her.
Do we see her, and I'm going to say this, especially with the Cora, Jade, Roxanne, Perez versus Stephanie Vaquer and Giulia,
or I'm going to add to that because did you happen to see who Kelani Jordan actually will be facing tonight?
I have not.
Do you want me to spoil it for you? Because they already picked.
No, I want to wait. I want to be surprised.
Okay, then that spoils everything I was going to say. But yeah.
I know it's a member of Fatal Influence.
Or is it? Is it one member? We'll have to see.
Again, I haven't seen or heard anything. I have actually not seen any potential spoilers for today.
Wasn't a spoiler. It was actually announced on the countdown show.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't see that. Literally, the most I saw of the countdown show was the 5 minutes you and I were chatting before we started.
I had it on for background noise while I went and did a few other things around the house.
Right.
But I did stop to see the Kelani Jordan segment because I thought that they would have done that segment on the show, you know. But right now we are getting what TNA calls Full Metal Mayhem in the ring right now.
Yes. Every other company outside of WWE calls it Full Metal Mayhem.
Mm-hmm. Now I've got to ask, do we see Stax and the other guy whose name I can't pronounce and can't remember right offhand show up?
Oh, Stax and Luca Crucifino.
Crucifino, thank you.
I think they're going to play a part. I think maybe this is where, in this match, maybe this is where we see D'Angelo use some heel tactics. Like we've seen it before where they've tossed him the crowbar and he tosses it back. But maybe this match we actually see a full-blown heel move from him.
Yeah, and we all know that both him and Oba are not heels in this feud at all.
Right. Neither are heels, but neither are solid baby faces.
No, Tony D'Angelo is kind of like Eddie Guerrero in that sense. You know, he's a baby face, but will still do heel things.
Yeah. I'm going to say both of them are very much the anti-hero. They want to do right, but they have to do it the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. Like Oba, for instance, is he as he said in a video package I watched this afternoon for this match. He said he'll do anything to get back his North American title.
Right.
And the same thing could be said for Tony D'Angelo. He said he would do anything to keep the North American title.
Exactly. And when you've got a match like this, it's set up for exactly that.
Yeah. I love how everybody pops when a table shows up, by the way.
Okay, well, it's saying in the ticker that it is going to be Kelani Jordan versus Fatal Influence.
Yes.
So it's all three.
Yes.
Interesting.
Gauntlet match. At first, what it was Fallon Henley had said she was going to step up, but then Kelani kept on egging them, like, get to the stipulation. She kept on saying, right? I want to know what the stipulation is. Then JC Jane grabbed the mic and she's like, hold your horses. You're being very rude. Here's the stipulation. You're not just fighting Fallon Henley. Fallon Henley took the mic actually and said, you're not just fighting me. You're taking on Jasmine Nix first. Then you're fighting JC Jane. And if you can get through those two, you get me.
Wow.
And here's the thing too, because at that time I was just finishing up my edit for that match, that part of the match in the intro.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, do I have to go back and just edit it so it's only Fallon Henley coming to the ring for this? And then when she said, you're facing Jasmine Nix, you're facing JC Jane, I'm like, okay, I don't have to now. I'll just leave it as is with all three of them coming to the ring in my intro. Because
I'm
let's
even
face
gonna-
it.
Yeah, go
Because
ahead.
let's face it, this little 32-inch that I have for gathering clips is not the best for me.
Right.
So you were gonna say sorry?
Well, I'm gonna ask, and I mean, somebody we haven't seen in a while for the women's division as well during that match. Could we see her return? And I know she is sort of the host and narrator for the evening, but could we see Gigi Dolan return?
I really wouldn't mind that because I could use some Gigi.
Yep.
Another woman I wouldn't mind seeing back, and I'm almost certain they're going to put her on the main roster anyways when she comes back. But another woman who they tend to do a lot of Halloween stuff on the WWE YouTube channel with that I wouldn't mind seeing back is Shotzi.
Yep.
But as I said, I expect that she's going to be up on the main roster when she comes back because she's due back anytime now too.
Yep.
Vic is right on that one. He just said it's not in Tony's DNA to just give up.
Right.
You know what? This is probably the first PLE in years where I don't have a single prediction going into the show.
Right.
I think maybe the women's tag match is probably going to be the most obvious one. Stephanie Vaquer and Giulia are probably going to take that one.
Yeah.
But this one I'm uncertain about. The NXT title match I'm not sure about. And the ambulance match I'm curious about, but I'm not sure on who takes that one, you know?
The ambulance match, I'm actually going to take Ridge on that one.
I can see Ridge doing it, but I can also see Chase winning it.
I can too, because I can see every other member of Chase U coming out to aid, of course, Andre, and that. But I could also see Andre Chase being the guy to get booted from Chase U.
I can see because Andre Chase is he's just like those underdog wrestlers that we were talking about the other night. So I can see him squeaking out a win at a moment when he shouldn't win, you know? Like maybe he's up against the ambulance and the doors are open and Ridge backs off and runs to like spear him only for Andre to duck out of the way, and suddenly Ridge is in there and the door, and Andre quickly grabs and closes the door, you know?
Yep.
I totally seeing these tables coming out now. I totally forgot. It reminded me. I totally forgot I was supposed to get a hold of Bubba this weekend. He was supposed to. He's supposed to be bringing me a table for the TV on Thursday that I'm looking to pick up.
Right, and I think I saw a clip from the pre-show, like not a video clip, but a picture of Bubba Ray Dudley.
He was
at
there.
Halloween Havoc tonight.
Yeah, him and some of his cohorts from Busted Open Radio were hosting the helping host the pre-show.
I know Bubba has signed on, and he will be doing VIP greets and all that pre NXT on the at the 2300 on the 6th.
Yeah. Well, I kind of figured he got that Legends deal earlier this year because of, him and Devon both appearing in 2K24 this year. Which that was another task I didn't get to do today. I didn't get to record more episodes of the Jessica Wilde story.
Right.
Sundays is usually the day I like to record a couple of episodes of that, you know.
Right.
And just as we expected.
Yep. I've already got the D'Angelo family laid out by Oba.
Me too. I was waiting for you to catch up. So again, though, I can't remember the female's name in this group,
Adriana Rizzo.
and I'm probably going to forget it later on tonight too. It's probably just going to take more of me watching NXT.
Yep.
But see, even right now, like I'm hearing mixed reactions for Oba in this situation.
Yep.
From the crowd. And more cheers for Adriana in this part.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Wow.
And, of course, the obligatory holy shit chant.
Of course.
Oh, whoa. I thought Oba had him on that.
I did too.
Well, I kind of called that finish a bit.
Yep.
A little bit messed up on that finish from Oba's part. He didn't quite get the air that he needed to get that, to make that look a little more effective, you know?
Yeah. I was almost waiting because when you looked at sort of Adriana's tights, I was like, okay, is she actually going to turn? Because she's wearing, leopard print. And you get that jungle, or are we setting up what we saw with Nikita Lyons potentially aligning herself with Oba?
I thought you were going to go with the Carmella route because Carmella also wears leopard print most of the time. Carmella shows up and she's tag teaming with Adriana Rizzo, and they're both part of the D'Angelo family. That could actually work for Mella though, because she does have that. She does have that New Jersey kind of thing going on, you know.
Well, she is the princess of Staten Island.
Yeah. Well, New Jersey, New York kind of thing. That's what I meant to say.
Exactly.
So I got to wonder now, this has got to be the end for Oba and Tony. I gotta wonder who challenges Tony next. Because if I'm Oba Femi now, I'm moving. If I'm WWE, I'm moving Oba Femi away from the North American title picture and
Yep.
putting him in the NXT title picture.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm going to have to say, you've got to look at a guy like a Ridge Holland. You maybe have to look at a Sean Spears, a Brooks Jensen.
Lexus King.
Yeah, I mean, depending on where Josh Briggs is and what he's doing.
Okay, so all of the major leagues now have titles. The NBA has belts, NFL has belts, Major League Baseball,
NHL, college
NHL,
football,
college football, and now I guess we need MLS to have titles.
maybe.
So I got to ask you something. Did you happen to say you had Virgin cable at one time? I can't remember if you did or not.
I did not. I have Virgin Internet and phone.
Okay. I was just trying to wonder if I get a cable box with the internet because I have my paperwork right here now.
Right, because
And it does.
you can bundle all three.
Yeah. I don't plan to leave Kudo though. I have a great deal with going on with them right now.
Right.
A deal that's actually going to get sweeter. If you look in private chat.
And my signal is frozen again.
There, look in private chat. He doesn't live here anymore, so why not?
Yep.
Right? And it's going to shrink my bill substantially. It's going to shrink it substantially.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of Lexis King,
Yep.
who, by the way, has been going around on social media championing getting his dad, one Brian Pillman, into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he has. And he has also gone out and done some indie shows over the past week.
Oh, has he?
Yes.
I wonder if that's just part of WWE's initiative because I know Hunter's been trying to chop the schedule a little bit for WWE, and I'm wondering if that's I'm wondering if that's because in NXT they're allowing them to explore outside options when they're not doing NXT shows.
So a very intriguing development as William Regal will be in Lexis King's corner. And I'm not sure if Lexis is challenging Charlie for the Heritage Cup on Tuesday or if that's when that's coming up.
I thought I didn't hear the whole thing. Sorry, distracted by the beauty that is Cora Jade as she's coming to the ring right now.
No, William Regal and Lexis King. Lexis is trying to, I think, do a babyface turn with that promo.
He came across as like, I seem to remember Brian Pillman doing this in WCW, where he would play the innocent guy.
Yep.
And then just snap.
Yep. And then, but William Regal gave him an inspiring promo and then said, "Sure, I will be your corner man."
Yeah, and I was going to say, before you mentioned the idea of him, Lexis King taking on Charlie Dempsey there, I was going to say, is this going to be on a more permanent basis or what?
Right. And I'm trying to figure out who Lexis is actually facing for this. So I'm wondering if he's got like maybe a match coming up against a Charlie Dempsey.
As right now, we've got Roxanne Perez making her way to the ring.
Yes, we do. And they're back to wearing matching uniform or matching tights so that they can come across as a solid team.
And that's, you know what, that's what I'm liking with wrestling these days. Well, actually, it was like a couple weeks ago. We didn't see it with Jade Cargill and Bianca, but I'm liking the fact that in most cases we are seeing, even if they are just one night tag team partners, we're still seeing them coming out as a matching team as we see Stephanie Vaquer come to the ring.
Yes.
And she's channeling her inner Thunder Rosa with half that face paint.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind if Thunder Rosa came to WWE.
I wouldn't either, but I mean, in the last 3 years, she has become so injury prone that I don't know if I would want her instability on a roster.
Well, she would be coming to a company that lets you work safely.
Right.
But the more I watch Stephanie Vaquer, the more I want her to win, to eventually become an NXT Women's Champion. Same goes for Giulia. I fully expect that maybe, well, I'm going to say 6 months down the road, I fully expect that Giulia and Stephanie are going to be the big female feud in NXT.
You know what? Absolutely. I think that that's going to be one that you can probably. I'm going to say this. I'm going to give it till January, and one of them is going to take the belt from Cora in a triple threat or potentially a 4-way match.
You mean Roxanne?
Yeah.
You said Cora. Because I said 6 months because I fully expect that at the draft they do after Mania, I fully expect that Roxanne's going to be called up at that point.
Honestly, I'm not going to be surprised. I know Cora's health hasn't been the best. She's had her knee injury, came back, and then blew it out again. But I think Cora would be right up there to be in that draft as well.
But at the same time, and again, I'm saying the 6 months again because I do like the idea of Stephanie and Giulia tag teaming so that they can add some depth to the women's tag team division on NXT.
Right.
And then we possibly see them going after Bianca and Jade at some point, you know?
Right.
Because let's face it, who wouldn't want to see Giulia versus Bianca or even Stephanie versus Bianca? I'm kind of excluding Jade from this because she still needs a little work as far as her one-on-one work goes, you know?
Right.
You could put her up against women the likes of Stephanie and Giulia, and they would get a good match out of Jade.
They would.
Because as we've always said, and even on the independent circuit, you take that wrestler that's not so inexperienced. To use an example in CWE, you take a character like Matt Powers, right?
Right.
Still very young, still very green, very malleable as far as the wrestling business goes. And in the last few shows, they've been putting him up against guys who have like a ton of experience in the ring. You know,
right.
your Diego Da Vinci, Bobby Collins, guys like them.
Yeah.
And I told him the reason why they're doing this because he wasn't so sure when I was talking to him. And like, dude, it's to help build your experience in the ring.
Yep.
That's why they're putting you up against these guys. They got faith in you. And that's where it could work in Jade's favor as well, you know?
And I know we are, cutting close to that time because I know we have heard rumors of a potential draft before Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So we could see it. And I think if you're going to do that, then I'm not sure what the next sort of broadcast type event or NXT PLE there would be.
Yeah, because
January.
I gotta say this is probably going to be the last NXT PLE of the year. And now I know that they usually do one around or close enough to Royal Rumble weekend.
Yep.
As I think the next major TNA, major NXT event, and I'm not saying PLE, But I think the next major one is New Year's Evil.
Okay. So you could see the belt change hands there.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, if it wasn't for Cora's injury history the past 2.5 years, she would be right up there ready to go to Raw or SmackDown. And you don't have to send Cora and Roxanne together to the same show. You can send them one to Raw, one to SmackDown.
But at the same time, if you want to keep beefing up that, adding depth to that women's tag division, I wouldn't be too opposed to splitting Cora and Roxanne or keeping them together. I mean, and putting them on. I'm gonna say SmackDown because there's still a little bit of wiggle room for an NXT a women's tag division there. You know,
there is. The problem I have, and I think I'm with you on moving them to SmackDown, because the issue I would have with moving them to Raw is
they get lost in the shuffle there with the amount of tag teams that are already there.
Well, that, and you just brought Lyra Valkyria up last year or earlier this year, and now she's sort of been lost in the shuffle. You had Kiana James, who had just debuted, and then she went down. You've had Tegan Knox under contract. She's been lost in the shuffle.
She's hurt, though. Tegan's out with an injury.
Oh, is she? I did not know that.
Yeah, she's been hurt for a while. Because remember, it was like last year, she was tag teaming with Natty a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Natty's contract had run out. And I saw Tegan wrestling main event and trying to do a heel persona. And I've not seen or heard anything about Tegan actually being injured.
Oh, unless she is fine and they're just, trying to find look for a spot to put her on TV.
Right.
But right now we have got ourselves a hell of a tag team women's tag match here.
Yes, we do. And it's not like we weren't expecting this.
Huh. Well, to be fair, Cora Jade's been gone so long that I kind of forgot how she is in the ring.
Right.
Oh, thank you, NFL Network, NFL app.
Okay.
Sending me a notification. This is your game day morning news. Doesn't look like morning outside to me.
I can't see anything outside.
There's one thing I didn't expect out of Giulia that I'm really liking here. She's a bump machine, man.
Yeah.
And I'm only saying this because, from watching her in Stardom and Marigold, I didn't really see her taking a lot of bumps there. She was a little bit more dominant there.
Right.
Okay, that was a really cool little spot.
Yeah, I find it weird that they were hitting each other with everything, and then it was the double slap that knocked them both down.
I thought that was cool.
It was, but again, I think it was just like, how is such a weak move going to do that after you guys have just dished everything out at each other?
Think of it in the sense of an MMA fight, right? If you come in some MMA fights, right, you can come in strong, but just that one shot, you're down.
Yeah. See, and I don't watch MMA. I
Mm-hmm.
just can't get into it.
Or even boxing in that matter, you can come out of that corner strong, but then that one fist, boom, you're down for the 10 count. Okay, I got to give bravo on Roxanne Perez there because she did the one thing I complain about with certain wrestlers. She didn't watch the 2 count. She listened to the cadence. You can tell she was doing that. But these 4 men, they are laying it all out on the line right now. And I'm loving every second of it.
Oh, yeah. This match has already surpassed the TLC match that opened the show.
Yeah, to be fair though, I didn't expect a lot coming out of that going into that TLC match.
I can understand where you're coming from, and I think because we have been so conditioned based off of previous TLC matches that one was more of a letdown because of what we've experienced since TLC was innovated.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless, I don't think whoever takes the pin in this match is still going to look very, very strong.
Oh yeah, all 4 women are coming out like stupid strong in this one. Oh, I just noticed they're using the gray canvas tonight. I love just how fast paced everything is, and
Yeah,
this is the type of fast paced action that's geez,
I've got the finish.
yeah, so do I. What a fucking finish that was.
Right?
It's definitely one of those matches that leaves me, and this is a good thing. It's left me wanting more out of these women. I want to see these women, go at it again. Who is she targeting? That's the question right now.
Right? Because it didn't give us really any type of an indication.
Well, I think in that case, because for those who aren't, and I'm forgetting her WWE name, so I'm just going to say her independent name. But Delta has shown up on our screen, and
Zarya.
yeah, thank you. She's shown up, and she's basically stood tall over the four women that just had a hell of a tag team match,
Yes.
leaving us to wonder who she's going after.
I'm going to speculate. And because you've just had Giulia and Steph Vaquer debut as faces, given the look that they've given her, I'm thinking Zarya's heel and is going to target Steph and Giulia.
But at the same time, Roxanne and Cora had that same look too.
They
That
did.
terrified look, and you see Roxanne just as she usually does, clutching the her women's championship.
Yeah. They had sort of more of that angry look as they were looking up, but I think Zarya is actually going to be a heel, not aligned with Cora and Roxanne, but
Okay, so here,
that dominant force.
yeah, so here's what I see out of that. Okay, because we all know that ultimately your goal should be when you're debuting with a wrestling promotion is to target their major title, right?
Right.
So watching anyways, so imagine this: she comes in, she's not exactly associated with Cora or with Roxanne, but she'll do some work on the side for them, provided the money's right kind of thing. So she goes in, she takes out Giulia, she takes out Steph. Roxanne promises her a championship match.
Yep.
She doesn't get it because Roxanne needs her to do this other thing. So she goes and does this other thing. Now she wants the title match. Roxanne's like, "Oh no, we're not done yet. I need you to go and do this now." This now all leads to her getting, very frustrated, very annoyed, very ticked off with Roxanne because she's not getting her championship match.
Right.
Now we see her turn on Roxanne, thus getting that title match. This also depends on if we see Roxanne, like we speculated earlier, dropping the title at New Year's Evil.
Right. So that what I've got on my screen right now is a bunch of superstars, male and female, handling the boogeyman's head, which I did see through social media throughout the day.
Yeah, I saw the Bianca and Jade one. That one was the funniest one so far. All they need to do is feel around the mouth for the earthworms and they'd know it's him. I kind of okay, so not a lot of people were fans of Boogeyman when he was around. I friggin' loved him.
Right? He gave me that Papa Shango vibe.
Mm-hmm. Marty Wright is the name of the person who plays the Boogeyman, and he just, I don't know, like, because I've watched the interviews with him out of the character, him as the character, and I just love how he just rolls with the punches with this Boogeyman character. He knows it's a comedy gimmick. He knows it's a scary comedy gimmick, and he just makes it work. You know? If the CWE could bring Boogeyman in, that would be cool.
Right?
I like how he just totally turned into a gentleman because Bianca tripped over what was there.
Right?
Cedric Alexander and Javon Evans, or however you pronounce his name. Okay, so we're getting Cedric and Javon taking on the tag team champions right now. They are in NXT. I'm going to assume that's probably going to happen at the 2300 Arena show, maybe, as we got Bubba Ray Dudley on our screen.
And Dave LaGreca.
Yep. Like I said, both members of the Bustin' Out crew, aren't they? Are they not? I know Bubba is. I can't remember if Dave is or not.
No, Dave is just a host. Dave has no affiliation with any wrestling company.
Well, now he does.
So we are getting our ambulance match next.
I got to, yeah, because, yeah, well, there's the opening, there's the package. I kind of want to see Chase U and Alpha Academy work together on more things.
That would be cool.
Or if Chase U turns heel, have them do something with American Made.
Right?
But the thing is, this whole Chase U gimmick, total babyface stuff. Total
Right.
babyface. The only way they would really turn heel is if they became like a group of obnoxious jerks, kind of like the Spear Squad, you know?
Yep.
And hell, how cool would that be? I mean, Kenny Dykstra already works for the WWE. Why not bring in the only other one who's not retired or in another promotion? Well, actually, he is in other promotions, but bring back Mikey.
Right? You know what I would like to see? And this would be a reformation of a tag team, but put Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland back together, but not as the Brawling Brutes, and have them challenge for the NXT tag titles.
Yeah. I do like the fact that at the same time, I do like the fact that Ridge Holland is off doing his own thing.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that Pete Dunne has now finally gotten away from Sheamus.
Yep. The other thing I would like to see is almost have Ridge Holland go back up to Raw and pair with Drew. Because Drew could give him that shine and push him closer to maybe an Intercontinental title.
You know where else he could work too? And I'm just basing this because he's got that handsome European man look.
Imperium?
Imperium. He could work in. I think he'd do well in that group.
Yeah, I can see it. I would even, on SmackDown, pair him with Vinci and let them work
Ooh.
together as a team.
Yeah, I kind of like that. You have Vinci as like, hang on, my cat's Charlie's doing something I don't like. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
The moment the headphones come off, he takes off.
Andre Chase with the Freddy Krueger sweater tonight.
I was gonna say, here comes Andre Kruger, and they are using the ambulance that I hope they would use. At least I think it is, because Andre just opened up the door.
Yep.
But you had before I had to get Charlie off from what he was doing there. He was climbing up on my TV stand, and I do not let my cats near the TV stand.
Right.
So you were mentioning Ridge Holland possibly working with Giovanni Vinci. I kind of like that look too, because now you've got this whole Giovanni Vinci doing the rich guy, the rich European dude. He would work totally as like the bodyguard muscle for him.
Right.
Oh, nice way to start off the match, Andre.
Right.
I like watching Andre wrestle sometimes, but at the same time, I keep thinking, how in the hell can you wrestle a match in a sweater?
Right.
It's just
But I mean,
I think of it. Sorry, you were saying?
We've never seen Andre Chase without a sweater on, so we don't know how built he is upstairs. So I mean, he reminds me a lot of me as that tall, lanky guy. Doesn't have a lot of muscle. He's definitely got far more athleticism than I do.
Yeah. He no, the reason I think that is because, like, obviously when you wrestle, if you're going to wrestle a, we'll say, a 15-minute match, you're going to sweat like a fucking motherfucker. And those types of sweaters that I see them wear, I know those types of sweaters because you can get them at Sioux College. They don't
Right.
really leave a lot of room for your body to breathe.
No, they don't.
And I've had like those types of sweaters, and I've walked to the ring in the blistering sun with those sweaters. So believe me, by the time it was match time, that sweater was coming off and going
Yep.
back to the locker room, you know. Oh, I see how they're doing this. Okay. Oh, never mind then. That doesn't answer my question. Because I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, how are they gonna fit into that little ambulance? But that answered my question
Yep.
because I originally
So I'm going to ask: are you running behind my feed tonight?
slightly. Slightly.
Wow.
My Shaw's got a bit of a lag going on for some reason. But I was gonna say I was sitting there wondering how they were gonna fit in that ambulance, and I thought it was gonna be that they were gonna just have the stretcher hooked up, and you pull the stretch out, then you put the opponent on the stretcher and put him in. But I saw Ridge pull the entire thing out, so
Yeah.
But I do love the fact that they are using a Ghostbusters ambulance
Right.
car. It'll always be a Ghostbusters car to me. I know it was an ambulance at one time,
Yep.
or that was what everybody used for an ambulance at one time.
Yep. Then it became Ecto 1.
Yeah. That's one thing I wanted to bring up, because obviously you and I do some gaming, and I'm the guy who plays Grand Theft Auto a lot, and I play some GTA online every once in a while. And for the last few years, I've been thinking about like how they always they release cars for players to buy in the game every
Right.
month or so. And I'm like, how cool would it be if they released iconic cars? Like if they released Knight Rider, the DeLorean from Back to the Future, the Ghostbusters car. Like how fucking cool would that be if they put those in GTA? I would gladly cruise around Los Santos in a Ghostbusters car.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you wouldn't be able to go very fast or very far in the DeLorean, but you could go back.
Yeah.
You could go to San Andreas.
Mm-hmm. Well, there is a version, a car in the GTA Online that looks like a sort of knockoff version of the DeLorean, and you can actually fly around the city with it.
Okay.
But it's like, come on, give me the actual DeLorean, you know?
Yeah. Oh, Carl would be drooling right now if he was here with us.
Yeah, he'd be demanding Ridge give him one of those.
You would.
Which every time he mentions that, it reminds me I need to go into my storage closet. I do have a piece of a broken kendo stick that he might want. Well, actually, I don't know if he would want it.
Right.
Because of who last handled it before it came into my hands.
Right. And I'm going to assume that you could give me 3 guesses. The first 2 don't count, and I'd get it on first guess anyways.
Yeah. He who shall not be named was the last one to hold it.
Yeah.
And it just ended up in my possession because after his match, my shit was after that match that he had, and
Right.
he left it the kendo stick broken in the ring. So as I was getting in the ring, I grabbed a piece of it and then I tucked it underneath the ring because
Right.
I was going to take it home with me as a souvenir for myself.
Right.
He left it in the ring, and I was coming out to manage Mr. Business, Valak, Tim, you know.
Right.
And I'm in the ring, and he's up on the corner doing his thing, and I'm doing my whole Kevin Nash point or Scott Hall point. And then I look over and I'm like, oh, he who shall not be named left a piece of the kendo stick in the ring. And then as I'm stepping out, I quickly yoink, you know, tuck it under the ring to just keep the ring safe at the same time. But I tucked it under the ring from where I was going to be standing as Tim's manager, and just before the finish of the match, or just after the finish of the match, which was me interfering to distract the ref to throw another weapon that I had on me, which was just a pair of fake brass knucks to give Tim the win. We were heels,
right?
And soon as I got off, I knew I heard the referee, who was TJ at the time, was doing the reffing. I jumped down. I'm hearing the 3 count going on. I reach down to grab the kendo stick and leave.
Right. No, the only time I was ever actually hit by a kendo stick was actually in I believe a battle royal.
Mm-hmm.
and it was our good friend Shiv.
I love Shiv. Absolutely love that dude.
Yeah.
And I bet he stiffed you. I get that
No,
feeling. He hit you safely.
very.
Mm. Oh no, wait. Shiv was always a safe worker. He wasn't. He'd stiff you if he didn't like you, though.
Yeah.
So just like the first match, I'm kind of expecting Chase U to come out and help Andre a little bit.
I'm going to say no in this situation because, again, I'm going to go with Jimmy Corderas here. You don't want that much oversaturation of the same thing happening.
No, yeah, that's the other thing
And
too.
I think because of the way everything fell apart, Chase probably wants this one-on-one. I do see where you're coming from.
Well, yeah, because Chase U has come out and helped Andre in the past with matches. Like we've seen Thea Hale come out and do a little bit of a distraction to the heels. We've seen Riley Osborne come out. We've seen Duke Hudson a time or two has helped out. But
Yep.
those were mostly in cases where if Andre was having a match and he was taking on somebody who had a partner,
Right.
they'd come
And
out and
see,
help because said partner was trying to help
yeah.
Andre's opponent.
See, I could see Duke Hudson coming out because I'm honestly really surprised and I'm loving Duke Hudson's character work with Chase U.
Mm-hmm.
But I certainly did not expect him to last with Chase U as long as he has.
Neither did I, and I totally forgot actually how long he's been with Chase U, and this event here marks 2 years actually that they've
Yeah.
been together because I was watching Halloween Havoc from 2022 last night, and they did a segment where they said that the other gentleman who was a part of Chase U before he got released, I can't remember his name.
Bodie Hayward.
Thank you. Bodie Hayward was very uncertain about Duke Hudson joining the team.
Yep.
Like he didn't trust Duke as far as you could throw him, you know?
Yep. So I could almost potentially see that heel turn coming, but I think that's 2 heel turns too quickly for Chase U.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, because Ridge has attacked Duke a couple of times since this incident, or since Ridge had left, it doesn't make sense to me for Duke to do that.
Right.
And besides, if there's a small part of me that wants to see Andre and Duke hold the tag titles together again.
Right. I mean, we have seen in the last 2 years, we've seen them accept JC Jane in, and then she turned on them. We saw them bring in Ridge Holland. Of course, we're getting the results of that right now.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do too many heel turns because you don't want to keep sticking all of these next in line and extras into the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think Riley Osborne to me is still not there and should probably be more on level up than he should be in Chase U.
Mm-hmm. No, I kind of disagree there. I agree with him being on level up, even though level up's not a thing anymore.
It is. They are not canceling it.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, we are seeing a bit of an aggressive side out of Andre Chase right now, and I'm liking it.
Right? See, and this is where I've always been with Andre Chase. Is for me, his in-ring work has always been better than his mic work.
There's still room for improvement though with Andre
There
though.
is.
Now, this is what I want to see, and I'm coming from a gamer's perspective again. Now that I'm thinking about this, I want to see in next year's game when you go to choose to wrestle an ambulance match because they are in the game now.
Yep.
I want to see you. I want to see you have the ability to choose which ambulance you want to use.
Right.
I also want them to simplify the ambulance match a little bit more. Because it's a fun match to play, but it's a friggin' struggle just to get your opponent into the ambulance. Even if you've gotten them beaten and their power's out, they'll still find a way to fight back.
Right.
And I just got the finish.
Yeah. But watch Andre because it's sort of funny what he does in the background in the ambulance.
I'm watching him. I like how he's reaching. He's trying to beat his way out. Not quite giving up, even though he knows he lost.
Yep.
Telling me that this is not the end between the two.
See, because I think it's the end between those two. I think now Ridge is going to have to do a serious rivalry and grudge match with Duke. We know they've had a grudge match, but they need a serious one.
Right, but I would like to see if Andre does get another match, Andre needs to get his win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is the thing too with Andre. This loss doesn't hurt him because he is incredibly over right now on the NXT roster.
Right.
As right now we're seeing a promo for Diablo 4, and I really wish I had the money to get this game. I really would like to get my hands on it and play it a little bit, but I feel like I'd be going down a very, 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 very deep rabbit hole with that game.
Right. I love the fact that in that promo they just called it the legendary ECW Arena and not the 2300.
Well, that's what we wrestling fans affectionately call it, the ECW Arena, you know? It's not the MLW Arena, it's not the CZW Arena, it's the ECW Arena.
Right.
And I say MLW and CZW because they're the two other promotions that mostly use the arena. I know that TNA's been there. I know that other promotions have been there, but it's mostly MLW or CZW that'll do a show there, you know?
Yeah.
Or even what's that? GCW usually does shows there too.
Right.
Speaking of Mr. Chris Parrish, how are you doing?
I'm blocked by a logo, but how are you?
Apparently you're still blocked by a logo because I thought editing it to shrink it would help, but
no. It actually
Let me-
suits him better.
Let me get this fixed up for you.
It is okay. I got it right there. There you go.
How we doing, brother?
Okay.
I'm okay, I guess. How are you?
I'm all right. How was your Saints game with your buddy?
Oh, it was fantastic. How was your Dolphins game?
Just as fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least
my
I think I at least expected it, what I got.
Hey, I expected what I got. I was right to be worried about that Eagles game.
I did expect a little bit more from them, but when you don't capitalize on opportunities and fumble the ball through your end zone off a snap.
I'm just going to say this, but if the pass is not catchable, it should never, ever be pass interference. Like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of losing an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl because a guy decides to blindside a guy before the ball gets to him where it's on target. But then when a quarterback can just Hail Mary it like 90 feet over the quarterback and there's like contact and that's interference, the NFL, your integrity has gone to the absolute crap side this week. Fix it or you're a laughingstock in the sports world.
Right.
That's my rant. You had a Thursday night game and because of a blatant face mask. And then you're allowing these kinds of plays. But then you protect guys like Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady for the last 20 years.
Right.
Like, it's a joke. It's a joke.
I was proud because Tua actually took a 20-yard run and slid at the end of it on a third down conversion.
He probably thought that he was playing baseball. He was in the World Series.
Parrish, are you caught up with the results of tonight?
No, I haven't paid attention to anything other than what I was watching earlier. But let's just enjoy what we have coming up, and then I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's pretty much what I've assumed.
Well,
we're only 3 matches into the show, so.
Well, yeah, and up next is easily going to be Kelani Jordan's match.
Okay.
See, now I'm shocked that that's so late in the card.
And my signal has been buffering quite regularly, but I'm actually been ahead of best.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Right?
So far, yes. I've read the results. I am betting 100% based on what I predicted on the Chris Parrish podcast this morning. I said Stephanie Vaquer would pin Roxanne Perez. I said Rich Holland would win.
Yeah.
And I also said that Oba Femi would not retain the title or regain the title. So, all right. I thought I'd be so wrong, especially with my crown jewel. I thought my crown jewel predictions were going to be really wrong, so that'll be fun next week.
Yeah, and I'm still uncertain about a PLE Patrol for that one because that's going to be a very busy weekend for me.
I'm actually going to be available. I found that out today. Because it's at 11 my time, and I don't have to be anywhere till 5 my time. So that's well. There we go. I'll just do that.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I did put a smaller one up.
That's what she said. NXT General Manager Ava. No last name, just Ava.
Yep.
She's only allowed 2 letters of the alphabet. alphabet. And her left eye is supporting the New Jersey Devils.
So we did get our answer. William Regal will be in Lexis King's corner in a Heritage Cup Championship match.
Okay.
Why is he in his corner?
Because his Regal's son has the Heritage Cup.
Exactly my point. So why is he in Lexus King's corner?
Because Lexis King is trying to do a babyface thing.
Why? He's a good heel.
And that's kind of where I was hinting at earlier too, because Brian Pillman has done stuff like that in the past, where he's pretended to be the baby face, but then suddenly, at the drop of a hat, he snapped on the people he was being a baby face towards, you know?
So have they announced who's? Oh, it's Jasmine Nix.
No, it's not. I kind of want to perish to figure this out here.
Well, I'm not going to say anything.
I mean, it is Jasmine Nix, but it isn't at the same time.
All right, what have I missed?
Okay, so do you want me to just spoil it?
Well,
So
I wouldn't have asked if I didn't want to know.
Okay, so earlier tonight, originally it was Fallon Henley, so you would have been right on that part.
No, I said I wanted Fallon Henley, but like my gut was saying it's probably JC Jane.
Yeah, but then didn't you say, you know what? I'm picking Fallon Henley?
Yeah, because I can't do two. I'm not a bitch.
So Kalani's defending the title, of course, but she's defending it against Jasmine Nix, and if she can get through Jasmine Nix, she's got to defend. She's now going to take on JC Jane. If she can get through JC Jane, then she gets Fallon Henley.
So Fallon Henley is going to win the title based on this whole thing. So I was right to begin.
Yes.
That is so dumb. What did Kelani Jordan ever do to have to go through all that? And what did Fatal Influence ever do to get that home field advantage?
Other than winning the spin the wheel thing, that's about
Yeah.
it.
What was this? Yeah, but what did they spin the wheel on? I get to absolutely FUCK the champion?
Yeah, because when they spun the wheel, it landed on dealer's choice or spinner's choice or something like that, and which meant that they got to pick the stipulation, so they chose a gauntlet match.
God, I hope somebody helps Kelani Jordan win this match now. I mean, she just wins on better gear anyway.
Yeah.
I'm only saying that because Jasmine Nix gear reminds me too much of the Bella Twins, and for that, it's an automatic you're disqualified.
Well, I was leaning towards Eva Marie with my thoughts too on that gear. And that's worse than the Bellas, in my opinion.
I am 100% with you, Best.
There's nothing about Maurice that's worse than the Bella Twins.
I said
Eva Marie, not
Eva Marie. On me, there's nothing worse than Eva Marie than the Bella Twins.
Yeah.
But as we suggested earlier, could this be where we see Gigi Dolan make her return? Could this be where we see Shotzi make her return?
Well, Shotzi was on the main roster, so this would be I don't want to say a downgrade, but it would almost feel that way. I mean, if you just want to make Kelani Jordan a star, she would just win the whole thing.
Yeah. I think I'm leaning more towards Gigi Dolan, given her past with JC Jane.
I mean, do we know where the artist formerly known as Delta is going to debut on?
Yep. She showed up in that women's tag match. She didn't tease who she was going against. She showed up, and all four of them were just like, "What the fuck is she doing here?" You know?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
After you saw the debut of Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer, Roxanne Perez still gave a "I don't know what you're doing here" look. Okay.
Yeah. She's
only defended against how many TNA people out of how many people are like making their debut, and she's still shocked.
Yeah, she did that whole scared clutching the belt kind of thing, you know?
That gets old.
I have Delta actually doing the heel thing, but I mean, we saw on Tuesday when she actually showed up at the end after Fatal Influence hit Spinner's Choice. And then she showed up.
I think maybe she helps Kelani Jordan retain after knowing this is now a really confusing gauntlet match. Now, I can understand from Fatal Influences, like, we just want the title. We don't care who wins it. Let's make it a gauntlet. But from what you described, it was just hey, let's just make it difficult on the champion.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was, essentially, in that promo.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Somebody in that group should want the title.
And I think out of the three of them,
that's it.
JC is probably the one that deserves it the most.
That's what I was saying, but I think I just have a feeling Fallon Henley is looked at as more of the star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, could we see Gigi Ray come in and put it to JC Jane, and then we see the artist formerly known as Delta give it to Fallon Henley, and then it's 3-on-3?
Yeah, I actually wouldn't put it past it for Delta to actually show up in this match too, because
she's not going to be Delta.
Well, I know
she is Zarya.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying the artist formerly known as Delta.
Yes, I know.
Because they don't want to call her by that name.
But we already had an artist formerly known as, and that was Prince Iakea back in WCW.
Well, we also had Goldust doing it.
Yeah, exactly. That was before Prince Iakea, actually. So, just like the American Nightmare, Justin Rhodes is first.
Yeah. Yeah. And Prince Iakea, what a deep grab for WCW there from OMD.
Hey, sometimes OMD surprises us all right? Gotta give them credit.
I know.
See, OMD, as much as I rag on you, I still give you your flowers.
Yes, you do.
I'm an honest man. I'm so honest. I have screwed myself twice in fantasy football by being an honest man. I told a buddy at work to play Puka when he didn't even know he was playing. And that's going to be that is pretty much the deterrent to why he probably will beat me. I haven't looked at it. I'm just assuming. But then my brother is in Jacksonville because he was at the Jacksonville Green Bay game.
Right.
And he played T. Higgins, not knowing that he was out. So I, as commissioner, took him out mid-game. My brother even couldn't have taken him out. It was mid-game, and I put in Shafir, who had a pretty good game for Buffalo. Yeah, I'm too honest at times.
Yep. So is this like the second last match then, Best, or is there only 5 matches, or is there 6 tonight on the
Only
card?
5.
Only 5. Up next is the title match.
Wow.
I kind of figured this match would get some time, though.
Yeah.
And they are giving time to this segment of the match right now.
Well, they gave more time for Jasmine Nix than I anticipated, so.
Yeah, I kind of expected that was going to go a little bit quick. It's 2 down, 1 to go now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I just got the finish to that.
Oh, now I'm ahead of OMT.
Now you're ahead of me, yeah. It's because every break in between matches, my signal buffers.
You got to work on your signal, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, these girls are rushing.
I can I can understand Fallon wanting to rush. Like,
I understand the wanting to rush, but there's
Yeah.
a worker aspect where you need to slow it down, but make it feel like it's like.
No, I get
just because you have to rush doesn't mean you have to botch stuff.
Yeah.
There's a time and place that I can watch wrestling and just watch it, but I can't not watch it and still not have the worker mentality in me. It's just hard.
That's the same thing with me and watching movies because of the fact that I've worked in movies and I've, gone to film school. I know how everything's done. So like I find it hard for me to shut my brain off and just enjoy the movie without critiquing how certain things were shot, in my head, I should say.
The pace of this match is getting better, but there's a lot of wasted space happening in this match.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think Fallon Henley works a lot like Lacey Evans.
And Lacey wasn't that bad of a worker, though.
No, she was very, very decent.
Yeah.
It was after the whole Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch tagging with Baron Corbin thing that kind of put her in the why category.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was just a terrible storyline.
No, 100% agree. I think her entire run, honestly, on the main roster was just kind of not good.
I mean, it was just too much.
Mhm.
Everything she did, or everything like they asked her to do, it just was like, hey, if you cut this down to 75%, it would be awesome. But no, you just have to give us too much all the time. And
Mhm.
well, that's Vince, right? Vince, in my eyes, in the last 5 years, really cut down on his storytelling, like badly.
Yeah.
People could say, well, it was longer, but like you really notice like the details and everything really was horrible in his last 5 years.
Yeah. I kind of expected a part of this match after JC Jane got eliminated. I kind of expected Jasmine Nix to run in and beat on Kelani alongside JC Jane before Fallon Henley made her way out.
Well, in my eyes, the gauntlet, the next match immediately begins after the previous one ends.
Mm-hmm.
So there's already leeway off the official to allow that shot by JC Jane. And there's her Jasmine Nix.
Yep. And there's JC.
Mm-hmm. Well, JC already made her presence felt.
Yeah. And there's the finish.
You really need to learn how to give OMD time, dude.
OMD, he's a lot closer than you think.
I just got the finish.
See?
But he didn't tell me what the finish was. So.
No, I know, but he did tell you the finish. So right now, I am betting 1,000 on this show. And this is, I bet you, where Delta comes. Well, the artist formerly known as Delta.
And of course, my signal buffered, so I completely missed the whole thing.
I love just how exciting the women's division on NXT is getting right now.
Yep.
There's part of me that wants Jordan Grace to come and tag with her.
Oh, what a team that would be, eh?
Right? Tell me that they don't like complement each other.
Oh, they totally do, dude.
There you go. Women's War Games match for NXT. You get the artist formerly known as Delta, Steph Vaquer, Giulia,
Jordan Grace.
and Jordan Grace
You're welcome.
against Cora, Jade, Roxanne, Perez, and 2 members of Fatal Influence.
Or why don't you just make it 5-5 and have Kelani Jordan in there?
Do that too.
But we all know that that's a main roster thing.
Yep, the War Games match got moved up to the main roster.
I will say one thing I kind of do want to watch now is a Elimination Chamber in NXT. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no reason why they're not allowed to do an Elimination Chamber match. And if you do it for the women's title, that would be pretty cool. I love how they had to show that footage on 6 3 times, and the first one was the best.
Yeah.
So what are your guys' predictions for Crown Jewel?
Been trying to figure that out for the last little while. I don't even remember all the matches right now, but the 2 main matches.
Gunther and Gunther, Liv and Nia. We got Orton and Owens. We have the triple threat for the U.S. title. And we also have Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed.
Yeah, for the U.S. title, I'm going with, I think Mello takes that one. Because I don't see LA Knight walking away with the title. I'd be happy if he did.
That's exactly what I said earlier today. It's like, when was the last time you saw a champion lose the title without getting pinned? It'd be a great way for Carmelo Hayes to win the title without beating the champion. He pins Andrade. He tells Andrade, I beat you 4 times. You're in my rear view. But then he has LA Knight to worry about. And then when LA Knight finally gets the title back, that's when you bring back Shinsuke and you do Shinsuke versus LA Knight.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on Mello. Cody Gunther. I got to go with Cody.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of Cody winning that one. Nia Liv, though. I think Tiffy comes in and cashes in on whomever loses. Unless she cashes in and makes it a triple threat, but again, but how would that work with both women with the championships? That's what I'm curious about.
It wouldn't, because she would nullify the match for the Crown Jewel Championship, because she actually has to say which championship she's going after. Therefore, that match would then be for that title, and it would nullify the triple threat for the Crown Jewel Championship.
Okay.
See, I'm with you on Tiffy cashing in. I do have Tiffy cashing in on Liv and walking away with both belts.
And see, I've got Tiffy on Nia.
That will not happen based on the fact that neither title is on the line. She has to challenge one title. If it was title versus title, then yes, she would be able to cash in and go after both titles. But the match is champion versus champion. It's not title versus title.
Right.
The match is only for the Crown Jewel Championship. So if she was to interject and challenge for a championship, she would then challenge for one of either Nia or Liv's championship. She cannot go after both in this scenario.
Okay. So if she, so I'm going to say if she cashes in, let's say if she cashes in on Nia, like I suspect, then I'm going with Liv to win the women's Crown Jewel championship on this one.
See, I had Liv winning either way. Just because Nia won the Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia. Similar reason to why I've got Cody winning. Cody is the face of the company. He is the one that's out there doing it all. So
now we have Rich Holland really getting in the face of Dave LaGreca and Bully Ray.
I think I'm going to go with Bronson over Rollins as well, because I kind of want to see that feud continue after this match, or after this PLE.
See, that's exactly why I have Nia Jax winning this match, because I do think we're going to get the tease of all teases on this. And just when we think we have not our Tiffany Stratton cashing in, she may go after Liv Morgan's title, but then I think we're going to get Rhea Ripley come down. And she takes the briefcase away. She smacks Liv Morgan in the face. Then we see Raquel Rodriguez come in, take her and kind of take her away from the match. Nia then recovers from whatever's happened before, pins Liv Morgan for the 1, 2, 3 with Liv having the briefcase in hand, thinking that Liv actually helped her win. And then Dom comes in and pulls Liv out before a cash-in could happen. Yeah, that's not enough. What was the casket match?
It's going to
Oh,
be Tatum Paxley and Wendy Chu on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, Beth, I just want to thank your defense for being an absolute butt plug for fantasy.
I would like to thank them too, because they fucking fell apart in that second half.
Why do you want to thank them for that?
I don't know. Because honestly, I want to thank them because it was the start of what was a shitty afternoon for me.
Yeah, the others won an OT.
Good.
I'm glad me stopped watching them actually again helped them win again in OT. That's 2 OT wins they can thank me on.
Well, I kind of chalked the Bengals up to losing for me tuning out at halftime, and because I was watching the game on my phone while I was doing some editing for this and gathering clips for the show tonight, and I had to shut the game off on my phone so I could send a text to my sister.
Well, they just suck in general.
Yeah.
Like their offense is just not going, and their defense ain't stopping nothing. I know that from experience.
But that first half, I thought they played well.
No. At one point, we were down, 9-5 against the Chargers. Hard to get mad at our defense when 10 points at the half would be winning the game.
Well, I mean, my Dolphins blew a 10-point lead.
Yeah, but it's because your quarterback is not ready to play football. Let's just be honest.
It actually wasn't on Tua.
Yeah.
Our center overshot the snap, so Tua had to push it out the end zone to give up a safety.
But why was it that close to the end zone to begin with?
Because Arizona punted the ball and they were able to. They got into the end zone and in the air he knocked it back out.
So what you're saying is your playmakers couldn't get it out of it.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah.
It was literally the first snap on the drive.
And Trick Williams is channeling his inner Willy Wonka.
I was going to say his inner Crown Royal.
Well, it's Trick Willy Wonka on the back.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Wonka might be my most favorite movie I've watched this year.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I've gone back since then and watched it a couple more times, so it's very enjoyable. I liked it a lot.
It's way better than the second one.
Oh, are you talking about Johnny Depp's attempt at it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I only know 3 Wonka movies.
Yeah.
So do we get outside interference in this match?
From who, though, if we did?
Well, as we suggested earlier, maybe this is now where you bring in a Hikuleo.
What about Josh Alexander?
That was my next guess. I was going to go with Josh Alexander comes out for Paige, and then Hikuleo comes down to nullify.
I would say Josh Alexander comes out for Paige. Joe Hendry comes out for Trick.
Joe Hendry has his issues with JBL now.
Well, JBL's a corporate guy, so he's in the right area if he comes in.
Yeah.
And we have a Babadook running. If he ever actually comes in. Well, that was
Bubba.
that was not fun.
There he is. There he is. He figured out how to get the camera working.
But the issue is because we don't have a fourth person. So I gotta do that now. Yay, work.
Yeah, you were saying Joe Hendry has the issue with JBL, but let's not forget about the partnership between Trick and Joe Hendry, though.
Oh, right. I knew exactly where he was coming from, but
And Bubba is completely frozen on my screen.
No, I just wasn't moving.
Way to take the bait, Best. Way to take the bait.
Hook, line, and sinker.
how we doing, brother?
I literally saw a motion blur on your screen there, Bubba. So
Yeah, I was slightly waving my hand, but it wasn't like. But look, it's because I have my down, so it looks like I'm moving really choppy, but I'm not. Holy cow, my computer. Sorry, I didn't make it Saturday, or was it Friday? I was supposed to come over.
Saturday.
So yeah, dude, I literally could not get out of bed till about an hour ago. My back locked right up on me.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, dude.
It's all good as long as you can get it here before Thursday.
We're thinking tomorrow. When
Tomorrow's
she gets
no
off
good.
work at no, okay. What day?
I'm barely going to be around tomorrow, so
I'm
Tuesday's
never around,
probably the
so-
best bet.
Tuesday. Okay.
Why don't we talk about this after the match?
Yeah, because we got a fantastic match here.
We are in the main event of the show tonight.
Who's wrestling?
Trick
Me and
Williams
you.
and
Let's
Ethan
go
Page.
at it. No,
We have a half a ladder.
half a ladder.
So we have a DER? Or do
Or
we
a
have
lad.
a lad, do ya? Do we have... My alcohol beverage is Ireland colors. Yeah, that's right.
By the way, I
Beer for the
completely
first time in 3 weeks.
By the way, I completely forgot that this was a Devil's Playground match.
What in the magical fun is a Devil's Playground match? Is it just anything goes?
Anything
Fans-
goes and falls count anywhere.
Yeah,
Sweet.
it's just a fancier way of saying Extreme Rules or hardcore match.
That's a fancy way of saying false count anywhere.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
100%.
OMD was the right one on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Extreme Rules is also just a fancy way of saying, yeah, we don't care what happens. It's just a match.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I hope to God WWE never does an Extreme Rules match ever again,
Why?
because it's such a stupid, vague term.
Mhm.
Just call it what it is: a no disqualification match.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. You're not wrong.
I don't like gimmicks for the sake of no reason.
I mean, the same thing could be said when they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have a no holds barred match." Might as well just say no DQ, you know?
See, and I was just going to say, can we get a no holds barred match, but then they lead it to the buildup of a remake of the movie?
If there's a way I could kick you from the
Right?
studio, I've done it right now.
Just
I gave you props like 5 seconds ago.
and then you go and screw
It's like-
that all up.
See, I like, don't get me wrong, I love the movie, but I'd love to see it get redone in this new era with Drew
But-
Star.
By who? Movies nowadays can't even compare to movies back in the day.
No, they
No.
can't.
No.
So all you're gonna get is like CGI and overacting or even underacting, because let's face it, they're not as good as what they used to be.
Underacting.
So
That's
all
the
you're
best
gonna
thing.
do is gonna get like a 50% version of something that's half-assed to begin with. So really,
Yeah.
what's
And that's the problem with remakes these days. Is the remake always loses the charm of the original.
Oh, it does.
like? Don't get me wrong, I'm a Ghostbuster guy through and through, but the last two movies can't even wash the jockstrap to the first two.
Well, nothing will.
They could have tried harder. I mean, one, you don't have to have 8-year-old kids being the replacement. You don't have to live in the infamy of what was 30, 40 years ago. You could have tried to actually have a new history with new actors.
But they did try that with the all-female cast.
That was just stupid. That wasn't even. There was no effort put into that. No.
That's
That
now I
movie
want to
doesn't even
kick you
exist.
from the studio for just saying that.
Right? Like,
Well, I'm just pointing out the little bit of hypocrisy in your statement there.
There's no hypocrisy. You had a borderline bullshit cast that was non-believable, and then you wanted me to believe that 4 people needed to save the world from catastrophe, but you had Thor as a receptionist.
Yeah.
that was the most stupidest thing they ever did. Not gonna lie.
And they tried to make it a comedy movie, which Ghostbusters is not. It just happened to be a comedy. It just happened to have comedy aspect because Bill Murray's a fucking god.
Right?
We talked about JBL, but it's also part of the Ghostbusters. When somebody says you're a god, you say yes. My nephew's team is absolutely taking names and kicking ass right now.
Nice.
Nice.
Like, it's not even fair. Just end the game.
Mercy rule. Throw the towel.
Are the shots way up like before?
Dude, it's 13-3.
Oh,
Where's the
Jesus.
mercy rule anymore?
I don't know.
I don't think there ever was one.
We had one when I was in baseball, when I was younger.
Yeah, there's a big difference between baseball and hockey. 'Cause
Even when I was in hockey, there was. Yeah, go
even
ahead.
when I played rec league ball, there was a mercy rule.
The shots are 42-9.
Holy Jesus. I'm surprised they're not winning by more. Let's be honest.
Oh, I am.
It's-
I'm actually surprised they got 13. They've had more shots and they've had less goals in many times this year.
That's awesome.
It's starting. Your nephew's hockey team is starting to sound like that episode of How I Met Your Mother when Marshall had to coach that little the kindergarten basketball team and they got and his team gets murdered. And
Yeah, Marshall
just-
is a Vikings fan. They don't know how to win the ship ever.
Whoa. Holy.
It's true.
My nephew's team won provincials last year. So
Just to let everybody know that's watching, that is his own personal opinion. That does not reflect the views of this podcast.
it's an actual fact that Minnesota Vikings have never won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it is.
I thought they have.
They've
No.
never won the Super Bowl.
They've never
Really?
won it. They've been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
but
Okay,
they've
that's
never
where I
won
got.
it.
Okay, sorry.
So
It's the same thing with the Lions. They've never won the Super Bowl, and they've only been to one NFL title game. And that was before it was the Super Bowl.
All right,
Jesus.
Paige, what do you got in that bag?
How the frick long ago was that?
Washers and nuts.
why are you talking about nuts, man? We haven't. Oh,
Why do you always have to talk about male genitalia? What's wrong with you?
then you want to clean them too. It's weird.
We're so mean to OMD all the time.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, he's just explaining what's on the screen, which is hilarious.
exactly.
I can't. I don't have my Fire Stick anymore, so I can't watch.
Well, I'm glad
I'm just
that
here to
you're
jaw
gonna-
jack.
I'm glad that you're going to be adding to the show in that way.
Right? I'm just here to jaw jack. Nothing important.
Just here to kick ass and pretend to chew bubblegum.
Right?
But in reality, it's just my tongue.
I do chew my tongue quite a bit. Or my cheek.
I might actually be ready for Trick Williams to lose the title.
Who's he fighting again?
Ethan
Ethan Page.
Ethan Page.
All ego Ethan Page.
Yeah, I know. He's only all ego because he had to buy it.
No, it's all ego because he's awesome.
Yeah, he can back it up.
I bet he can.
And he's a Hamilton boy.
That doesn't mean shit to me.
Hey, up until Motor City Machine Guns, he was one of the fastest outside of the company hired to win a championship in WWE.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is true. Yep. And congratulations to the Machine Guns.
Yeah. So, with all the washer and nuts that are collectively in the ring now, I'm wondering who outside of the ring is going to get collectively screwed out of the NXT Championship. Hey, yo.
Oh. I like that segue there, dude.
Thank you. I love it. It's a 2 count, and Ethan Page just looks like he's just about to cry.
Good evening, Bobby Stats.
What up? Missed you.
How we doing, buddy?
I wish that you were here this morning. We had a great show this morning. I say this morning because it was the morning for me, but afternoon for most people.
And we missed you last night on Saturday Night Gaming. Had fun on that show too.
Hear a lot went down on SmackDown.
I did.
Yeah.
Again, I couldn't even focus on the TV. It was just bad. I don't know what happened, but between what I was doing Friday during the day and getting to the girlfriend's house, my back was just cooked. And then I couldn't move all weekend.
Bobby Stats saying, "Great! I have a bocce ball tournament for the Special Olympics in Bridgewater College, in Bridgewater, Virginia, this morning, and got home 3 or 4 p.m. So that's
My
why he
time.
missed out on your show.
Nice.
Okay.
How did you do in that tournament, Bobby Stats?
Yeah. Bocce ball. Now, that's the one where you have to get it close to the little ball.
Yeah,
Like lawn bowling, as the British call it.
I think lawn bowling is what the North American people call it.
I know that's what my brother-in-law calls it, and he's from England, so I said bocce, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, you got the little ball, and you roll it in the blah,
No.
blah, blah." And he's like, "No, that's lawn bowling, bro."
that is lawn bowling. Bocce is where you throw the big ball closer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bocce is the
talking
Italian.
about bocce balls. Trick Williams just botched the balls of Ethan Page
Oh
with
my
that
god!
Yeah,
low blow.
And Bobby got first place, so congrats,
Yeah.
buddy.
Right
Way
on,
to
buddy.
go.
Of course
That's
you
awesome.
did.
That's where we need one of those
Oh,
like clapping
what a-
and cheering things.
that was an awesome finish, by the way. I like that finish.
Who won the title?
Trick Williams retains.
Nice. Okay.
And I was 100% on my predictions.
Were you really? You called all the
Yay, me.
matches?
Yeah,
I
he
did
called all of them.
actually.
Nice. Nice. Next time, though, for authenticity purposes, you're gonna have to text those so that I know that you're not. BSing.
You can go back on Spotify and watch it.
Check the Chris
Yeah.
Parrish podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
or
it's
or
out
just tune in live at 12:15 on Sundays when he does the show.
I mean, I made no mistakes like Bobby Badito did when he won his bocce ball tournament. So, how you doing? Bobby said it was very close. You know what? I believe it was closer in your eyes. I think you were kicking his ass, and you're being just modest.
You're a humble guy, Bobby. So you're among friends here. You can tell us how badly you whooped his ass.
Could have whooped
Oh,
Or
and
how
that.
badly he
Ridge
whooped
Hall-
that trick.
Ridge Holland.
Dude, I'm behind now.
Oh, now you know how it feels, Christopher.
Do I really give a shit, Christopher? No.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Easy, boys. Play nice.
Chris 1 and Chris 2 are talking.
Oh, but Ethan Page taking exception to this too. Or maybe not, huh? Oh, we talked about who could be stepping up into that world title picture.
Well, something tells me we're getting a tag match on November 6th at the ECW Arena.
Yeah, I think we're getting that.
What gives you that impression? Is it because Bubba Ray Dudley's in the ring helping out Trick Williams, or is it because you just have this funny feeling?
A little from column A and a little from column B.
Well, we don't care about your funny feeling, but you've had. Thank you, Bobby. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Bobby.
Despite
we
me
do greatly
laughing,
appreciate
we
it.
definitely do appreciate you on that.
Yeah.
Bobby, we appreciate your support more than you know. So thank you.
Yeah.
But that has to do with Halloween Havoc. Let's go around. Bubba, your thoughts already then. OMD, what do you think?
Fantastic show. Match of the night went to Cora and Roxanne versus Stephanie and Giulia.
Mm-hmm.
All around great show. And how did you follow this up?
Probably with NXT on Tuesday, but Bess, what did you think?
I'm with OMD on this one. My match of the night definitely was the women's tag match. I'm very curious to see how you follow it up with NXT on Tuesday, just as you had said, especially with the fact that we are getting Zaraya's debut match. On top of that, we're getting a casket match as well that same night. All in all, though, I was very entertained by this show. It wasn't the best NXT PLE of the year, but it was entertaining nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you think about it, like we got a lot to kind of get out of it with Stephanie Vaquer taking the pin on Roxanne Perez, like winning that match for her team, right? Like we now know that it's most likely going to be Stephanie Vaquer against Roxanne Perez for that championship, and we're going to see probably Giulia versus Cora Jade at some point. So we know that. Then we have that casket match between Tatum Paxley and Wendy Chu. So we have that to look forward to on Tuesday. How do you go with this? All right, we're going to have that built to the 2300 arena show in Philadelphia now. And I have a feeling we're going to see Trick Williams get the pin in that match, and that's going to set up him versus Ridge Holland maybe for that match. And I have a feeling we're going to see a Ridge Holland get some help from Bubba Ray down the road. I think this is a swerve. I 100% think this is a swerve. Because we all know that Bubba Ray Dudley is a better heel than babyface, and we don't need Trick Williams to have help. He fights for the people fight for him. We need heels to get involved. Now that Ethan Page is, I think, out of the picture, we focus on Ridge Holland, and I think that's kind of where we go. And then I probably think we got probably a tag team match at some point with Nathan Frazier and Axiom. We didn't see the tag team titles represented on this show, and I think we're going to get something of that line on Tuesday. And then, And then we had Kelani Jordan losing the championship outside of defeating 2/3 of Fatal Influence. She definitely deserves that rematch. Let's see where we go from there.
Now, to add to your tag team title picture there, Parrish, there was a promo earlier in the night between Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander where they talked about possibly challenging for the NXT tag team titles. They didn't specify at which show or on which date it's going to happen, but it is going to happen at some point.
Yeah, and just like I talked about at length, like I promised on the Chris Bears podcast about the active men's tag team division, it is absolutely bumping. I still think Hank and Tank are right there at the forefront of getting a tag team title shot. If you ask me what I would do with those tag team titles, I'm doing a scramble match for the tag team championship, Matt.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a tag team scramble match, and I think this is the best time to do so. But I also have to ask, we're now nearing that kind of area for the Iron Survivor, are we not?
Yes.
Yeah, it should be around the corner.
Yeah.
That would be NXT Day 1, which will be December.
So I think that's going to be right around probably the next big event here. So before we even think about that, man, who do we think is going to be in that match and who do we have winning? And I'm going to give you an answer that I think makes a lot of sense, and that is Oba Femi.
Yeah, given because I thought Oba Femi was going to enter himself into the title picture after his loss earlier tonight. So that makes sense now for him to be inserted into that match instead.
Yeah, because if you look at that, you can have that number one Contenders Iron Survivor match in there as well as an NXT title match.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of how I think it's going to work out, because WWE does a really good job of separating the two, especially lately, especially in NXT.
Right. Now, before you came into the show, Parrish, Best and I were discussing the rumor of the potential draft before Netflix. Would we see Cora, Jade, and Roxanne go up? Would we see Oba Femi get called up instead?
The reason why I personally think that we're going to see kind of and Bobby, we will get your comment. I do promise that. The reason why I think we're not going to see so many call-ups so quickly is probably because of the CW deal with NXT. They need their talent. They need those stars. I don't think there's going to be a vast necessity. I think it's more certain that we see Jordan Grace on Raw or SmackDown before we see Roxanne Perez or Cora Jade. Just because how important is Roxanne Perez to NXT right now?
Right.
I say she is very important to the women's division that is heating up as we speak. And I do think when it comes to stand and deliver for 2025, we're going to see a changing of the guard then. 100% I do think that. But I do think we're at least 6 months away from a possible major call-up of anything.
And I'm going to pose this.
And that's why I alluded to, because OMB and I were talking earlier, after Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer had won, I actually said to OMB, what do you bet that in 6 months, Giulia versus Stephanie Vaquer is going to be the hottest angle going into the NXT women's division? And I was alluding to that because of the fact that I do see Roxanne Perez possibly getting the call up around draft time.
Bobby coming in saying for the men's, he definitely sees Oba Femi. For the women's, he sees Sol Ruca for the Iron Survivor match. I really can't dispute that.
No.
And I think, too, when it comes to that women's picture, Sol Ruca is definitely someone you got to think about.
And I'm going to turn the tables here. I want to go, since we saw Fallon Henley win the North American women's title tonight, after Crown Jewel, do we see the other two members of Fatal Influence try and get a title shot on NXT from Bianca and Jade? And could they be the ones to actually take the belts.
I think it makes all the sense in the world that they call their shots and bring the tag team titles to NXT, or at least bring the tag team champions to NXT and ask for that shot. Because why wouldn't you want to bring Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair to NXT to help the ratings of CW?
Yeah.
On top of that, why not have that? The tag team championships can go everywhere. So it makes all the sense in the world. I think it makes sense. We see what Lash Legend, Jakara Jackson are doing in around those tag titles. Now, I ask, why not at Survivor Series give us a triple threat match for those tag titles for the women with one team representing each brand?
I like that.
Maybe not. Sorry, I'm going to correct myself. Not make it a triple threat. Make it a 4 corners match. Because in one corner you got a team from Raw, one corner you got a team from SmackDown, in one corner you got a team from NXT, and the other corner you got the champions.
I like what Bobby Stats is saying here as well. Or what if Fatal Influence, JC Jane, and Jasmine X target the TNA Knockout Tag Team titles?
Yeah, I mean,
Do that too.
with Spitfire having that successful title defense at Bound for Glory, they could be looking for new opponents.
I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't mind seeing Jody Threat inside a WWE ring.
Who's to say that would be in WWE, though?
Right?
You're
I
talking
know.
about for the Knockouts title, that would be in TNA.
Yeah. Oh, I know, but I mean, like in the build-up to that angle, it'd be really cool to see Jody Threat show up on NXT, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I have a weird feeling we're going to see Rosemary this Tuesday costing Randy True that casket match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, but on that note, guys, we're approaching almost 2 hours and 40 minutes here for this show. What do you say we get them old socials out there, starting with you, Mr. Parrish?
Well, they're not old. They take offense to you calling them old. They're actually very quick because I just launched that link tree not too long ago. So it's only a few weeks young. But yeah, you can check out linktr.ee/Chris Parrish. Why the slash? Because the internet made me do it. I'm sorry. But you can go check out that. You can check out the Facebook. You can check out the YouTube. You can check out the Twitch. You can check out the X account and the Instagram. Why is all that so important? Because those are where you can find the Chris Parrish podcast every Sunday, 12:15 p.m. p.m. Eastern time. It's not 12:15 for me because I'm in the West Coast. So yeah, go check that out. And if by chance listening to me is a little bit too much for you, go check out rogueenergy.com. Use the Parrish promo code to get yourself 10% off at checkout because, it's just good stuff. And plus, it helps me make money. And I appreciate that.
All right, and how about you, Bubba?
Yeah, people can check me out on YouTube at Bubba OMD and the good old Twitch land at Boar's Nest with Bubba Duke. And yes, I'm getting a link tree soon. Again.
And you, OMD.
Well, as you can see, it's right under my headline, right under my name. But it's my link tree, linktr.ee/OMD show.
All right, guys. And you can also find me at my link tree, linktr.ee/Chris_best83. And OMD, we're going to end it off with the commercial, but what are those famous words that we usually like to go out on?
As we like to go out, in the immortal words of Carl Carafel, ladies and gentlemen, the world is a scary place. Take care of each other. From all of us here at the Boar's Nest, CBRS Entertainment, The Locker Room, and Turnbuckle Studios, and the Chris Parrish Podcast.
Yay! I'm
For those of you out there, wherever you are, good night, good luck, we out.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we get a variety stream with the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Friday we game again with Unleashed, The Jessica Wilde Story at 7 p.m. Following the game, join us for the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday, be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
For miles, just another day, waiting for the sun to shine in vain. Welcome to my world, yeah.